Have you ever left a conversation feeling completely and utterly drained? Or conversely, have you ever met someone whose very presence seems to energize you, to make you feel calmer, stronger, and more optimistic just by being around them? This is not an accident. It is not magic. It is a fundamental law of the universe that most people feel, but few truly understand. It is a law of emotional physics. Every single human interaction is an exchange of energy. And in this exchange, every man at any given moment is operating as one of two things. He is either a net taker of energy or he is a net giver. The taker is a man in a state of internal deficit. He is a psychological black hole. His own inner world is empty, and so he moves through life with a powerful, subconscious gravitational pull, trying to suck energy from others in the form of validation, attention, approval, and reassurance. The giver, on the other hand, is a man in a state of internal surplus. He is a psychological sun. He has cultivated such a powerful source of internal energy that it radiates outward from him naturally. His presence warms the environment. He gives his calm, his confidence, his focus, and his value freely, without expectation of return. The most painful truth a man can learn is this: neediness, in all its forms, is simply an energy deficit, and the universe, especially in the realm of attraction, abhors a vacuum. A woman's nervous system is designed to detect this energy flow with brutal accuracy. She is instinctively repelled by the man who tries to take her energy, and she is profoundly and magnetically drawn to the man who radiates his own. Today, we are going to teach you how to rewrite your own emotional physics. We will diagnose the symptoms of the black hole and give you the Stoic blueprint for building the 3 internal power plants that will transform you from a man who takes into a man who gives. And pay close attention, because the 3rd power plant is the secret to generating a truly limitless and renewable source of this powerful masculine energy. Before you can ignite your own sun, you must first understand the physics of a collapsing star. Let's conduct an honest diagnosis of the energy taker. The taker does not think of himself as a taker. He often sees himself as a nice guy who is giving his time and his focus, but his intent is to take. He is listening to her problems, not to help her, but in the hope of taking her approval. He is doing favors for her, not out of generosity, but in the hope of taking her affection in return. His giving is a transaction, a down payment he makes with the expectation of a withdrawal from her emotional bank account. This energy deficit manifests in his behavior. He is the man who texts good morning, not as a genuine wish, but as a probe, a way to take a small hit of her attention to start his day. He is the man who needs constant reassurance. Ask, "Are we okay?" as a way to take a dose of security from her. His presence feels heavy because he has a gravitational pull. A woman in his presence often feels an inexplicable urge to pull away, to create space. She feels this because her subconscious is screaming at her that her own life force is being siphoned away. If his neediness, his energy deficit, is strong enough, he creates what we can call an event horizon. This is the point where a woman feels that if she gets any closer, she will be pulled into his void and will not be able to escape. This is a scientific explanation for why women often ghost or pull away abruptly from a man who is getting too needy. It is a primal act of energetic self-preservation. This is the grim physics of the man who has not yet learned to generate his own light. He is a collapsing star, pulling the world down with him. But this is not your destiny. It is possible to reverse this process, to halt the collapse, and to ignite your own internal fusion. The choice to begin this great work is yours. And if you are ready to stop being a black hole and start the journey of becoming a sun, then your transformation begins with a single conscious commitment. Make that commitment now. Subscribe to this channel. You are not just clicking a button. You are striking the first match to light your own internal fire. The journey from taker to giver, from black hole to sun, begins with construction of your first and most important internal power station. This is power plant number 1, the fusion reactor of your driving purpose. A star's incredible, self-sustaining energy comes from a powerful, ongoing nuclear reaction at its core. It is the process of fusing lighter elements into heavier ones, releasing an immense amount of light and heat as a byproduct. A man's mission, his telos, is his personal fusion reactor. It is the process of fusing his raw potential with his disciplined action to create the energy of a meaningful life. This is the most powerful source of internal validation. A man who is deeply engaged in a mission he cares about, whether it's building a business, mastering a craft, or solving a difficult problem, is generating his own light. He gets his sense of accomplishment from the work itself. He gets a sense of pride from the progress he makes. He gets a sense of meaning from his dedication to the process. A man on a mission is lit up from within. He walks into a room, and you can feel the energy radiating from him, not because he is loud or arrogant, but because he is filled with a quiet, powerful hum of his own internal engine. He does not need to take energy from others, because he is a surplus of it. He is a net producer. This is why the most fundamental advice is always to find your purpose. It is not just a nice idea. It is a law of emotional physics. Without your own internal fusion reactor, you'll be a cold, dark object, forever trying to steal warmth from other people's fires. With it, you become the fire itself. With your primary reactor online, you now need a source of stable, reliable, and grounding energy. The surface of a star can be volatile, with solar flares and unpredictable storms. This brings us to the second power station. This is power plant number 2, the geothermal core of your unshakable character. While a star's energy is explosive and outwardly focused, a planet like ours is a different kind of power, a constant, steady, and profound heat that emanates from its very core. This is geothermal energy. For the Stoic man, this is the energy of his virtue and his character. If your mission is a bright, exciting light you project into the world, your character is the deep, silent heat that makes your ground solid and fertile. This is the energy of integrity, of discipline, of emotional stability, of congruence. It is the energy a man generates when his actions are in perfect alignment with his stated values. A man who says what he means and does what he says is a powerful, grounded presence. There is no chaotic, wasted energy in his system. It is all coherent. This deep, geothermal heat is what creates a sense of profound safety and security in others, while the fusion energy of your mission is what creates the initial bright attraction. It is the geothermal energy of your character that makes a woman feel she can build a life with you. She can trust the ground she stands on. She knows it will not crumble under pressure. She knows that beneath the brilliant surface, there's a core of solid, reliable rock. A man who only has a fusion reactor of his mission can be exciting, but also unstable, a rock star. A man who only has the geothermal core of his character can be stable, but also uninspiring. A boring but reliable man. The truly powerful, magnetic man, the giver, the sun, has both. He has the brilliant, creative energy of a powerful purpose and the deep, unshakable, grounding energy of a virtuous character. With the bright, burning energy of your mission and the deep, stable heat of your character, you have now built 2 powerful sources of internal power. You have fundamentally shifted your own physics from a state of deficit to a state of surplus. You are no longer a black hole. But there's a third final power plant that takes a man from simply being self-sufficient to becoming a true generative and alchemical force in the world. It is the secret to not just generating your own positive energy, but to actually taking the negative energy of the world, the chaos, the challenges, the pain, and transmuting it into your own usable power. In the final part of this guide, we will reveal the nature of this Stoic transmuter and how it can provide you with a truly limitless and renewable source of masculine energy. We have laid the foundation for a profound transformation in your personal physics. You have begun the great work of building your first 2 internal power plants. The fusion reactor, your purpose, is now generating the bright, hot energy of a life lived with meaning and direction. The geothermal core of your character is providing the deep, stable, and grounding energy of a man whose actions are aligned with his virtues. With these 2 systems online, you have already ceased to be a black hole. You are no longer in an energy deficit. You are self-sufficient. But the journey does not end at self-sufficiency. The final stage of this evolution is to become a truly generative force, a man who is not just immune to the chaos of the world, but who can actively harness it. This requires the installation of the third, final, and most advanced power plant. This is a system that takes the raw, often negative, energy of the outside world and transforms it into your own usable power. This is power plant number 3, the Stoic transmuter of perception. Life will inevitably send negative energy your way. There will be the chaotic energy of conflict, the cold energy of rejection, the heavy energy of setback or failure. The man who is merely self-sufficient can be drained by these forces. He might be able to shield his own power plants, but he is still on the defensive. The Stoic master, however, goes on the offense. He does not just shield himself from this incoming energy. He captures it and refines it. The transmuter is built upon the single most powerful principle of Stoic psychology, a truth articulated by Epictetus. It is not things that disturb us, but our judgment about things. The event itself, the criticism, the failure, is just raw, neutral energy. It is like crude oil in its raw form. It is messy and not very useful. The suffering we feel is our own act of drinking this crude oil. The Stoic alchemist, the man with a transmuter, takes the same raw material and refines it into high-octane fuel. His mind, his faculty of reason, is the transmutation plant. When a wave of negative energy comes in, the transmuter intercepts it. It performs a crucial separation, filtering the objective event from the emotional story. The input might be, your partner criticizes you. The raw, objective event is, she spoke these specific words. The toxic, unrefined story is, this means I am a failure and she doesn't respect me. The transmuter discards a toxic story and holds onto the raw data. Then it begins the refining process. It asks, within this raw data, is there anything useful? Is there a kernel of truth in the criticism I can use to improve? Is this an opportunity to practice the virtue of patience or forgiveness? Is this a test of my emotional control? It extracts the only useful products, the lesson and the opportunity for virtue, and converts them into fuel for his own growth. The chaotic, negative energy of the criticism has been transmuted into the ordered, positive energy of self-improvement. He has taken an event that would weaken most men and has used it to become stronger. This is the essence of the Stoic principle that the obstacle is the way. The man who masters this is not just a sun. He is a sun with a Dyson sphere, capable of capturing and utilizing every form of energy the universe sends him. He becomes truly anti-fragile. Now, let us see this man in action. How does the giver, with all three of his power plants fully operational, navigate the complexities of a relationship? First, he is the source of calm. In an argument or a moment of conflict, his partner may emit the intense, chaotic energy of anger or anxiety. The man who is a taker would try to suck that energy out of her by becoming defensive or demanding she calm down. The man with the first two power plants might be able to shield himself from it, but the man with the transmuter does something more profound. He feels the heat of her anger, but his internal sensor simply registers it as data. His transmuter looks for the opportunity within it, the opportunity to practice the virtue of temperance. He then actively gives the opposite energy into the environment. He consciously keeps his own voice calm and low. He listens. He radiates the stable, geothermal energy of his character. He does not add to the chaos. He introduces order. He is a living embodiment of a safe harbor in a storm. Second, he is the source of growth. The giver is not afraid of problems or challenges within the relationship. While others see setbacks as a sign of failure, his transmuter sees them as raw material. A problem is not a threat. It is a shared project. It is an opportunity to build better communication systems, to deepen understanding, and to practice resilience together. He leads the way and turns the lead of their shared struggles into the gold of a stronger bond. He gives the gift of a forward-moving, anti-fragile perspective. Finally, he is the source of freedom. This is the ultimate gift of the giver. Because he generates a vast surplus of his own internal energy, he has no need to take anything from his partner. He doesn't need her constant validation to feel worthy. He doesn't need her reassurance to feel secure. He doesn't need her to be the source of his happiness. And this is the most liberating thing a man can offer a woman. It frees her to be a sovereign individual, not a resource to be managed. It frees her from the exhausting, unspoken burden of having to regulate his emotional state. His presence is not a weight, but a source of light that allows her to grow and flourish on her own terms. The love he gives is not a transaction. It is a true and generous radiation of his own internal abundance. This is the final state of the Stoic man. He has moved from being a black hole of neediness to a sun of purpose and character, and finally, he has become a master of his own internal alchemy, capable of transforming any and all of life's challenges into more fuel for his own light. This is not a strategy for attraction. It is a blueprint for a powerful and deeply meaningful masculine life. To be a giver is to be a leader, a source of strength, and a positive, generative force in the world. The profound irony is that when you stop trying to take respect, validation, and desire, and instead focus only on giving your own cultivated, internal value, those are the very things that will be given to you in abundance. The journey starts now. Stop diagnosing your energy deficit. Stop blaming the world for your emptiness. Begin the great work. Ignite the fusion reactor of your purpose. Stoke the geothermal core of your character. And start practicing the alchemy that turns every obstacle into your own power. The world has enough black holes. It is starving for the light of men who have chosen to become the sun.